What's going on, my PT peeps, my Walking Dead family, my fighters? I'm One Eye Bry, also known as PT. Don't know if I'm winking or blinking, but I'm definitely thinking about Fear the Walking Dead Season 8, Episode 4, titled King County. Spoiler. Major spoiler warning for Fear the Walking Dead. If you don't want to know, please stop watching now because it's pretty big. It's probably the biggest thing since Morgan came to Fear the Walking Dead. It's pretty big. So we know that the episode is titled King County. And Morgan goes back to King County in Georgia. So I don't know how long it took him. I don't know where exactly Padre is, but either way, who cares? Morgan went back to King County and it's awesome. So in the episode, we see Morgan, later on in the episode, towards the end of the episode, we see Morgan find Jenny's carcass, his wife's carcass. And Morgan blacked out all those years when he was in clear mode. He doesn't remember, but he evidently put Jenny down, Walker Jenny, and he doesn't remember. So during the whole episode, Dwight and Sherry are there to take Morgan back because of Finch and Shrike, and they have him captive. And, you know, Dwight and Sherry are still trying to figure out how to get their son back, and they do at the end of the episode. But either way, Dwight and Sherry leave after they come up with a plan to reunite with their son Finch, and they do at the end of the episode. We see Morgan and Grace talking, and Grace is sick. She feels sick from the radiation poisoning that she had, years ago, many years ago. She survived for over 7 years because they've been with Padre for over 7 years. But they go back, Morgan goes back to his house, the same one from The Walking Dead, and he puts down the walkers as Mo is in the house. She's in the attic, and the house is on fire. But as Mo is in the attic, she hears something up there. But Morgan is trying to get back into the house. He keeps seeing Walker Jenny over and over when he's looking at walkers, and they're not her, but he doesn't know that until he finally realizes that it's not her. It's not her. She's gone. It's not her. He's processing this, and it takes Morgan some time to do that. But in the attic is a huge reveal. It's Duane, Walker Duane. For all the people that were like, Duane's at Padre, Duane is saved, Duane is alive. He's not. He's chained up in the attic like Penny, the governor's daughter. What's with that? But Mo sees Duane, and somehow she knows it's Duane, even though his name's written in the ceiling or on the wall in the ceiling. And we see Walker Duane. He's got a lot of good teeth, though, but that confirms that Duane actually died, even though Morgan has said it time and time and time again. People hopefully believe it now. But again, as Morgan's trying to get into the house, he sees the walkers, and he thinks every time he sees a walker, it's kind of like the scope in season 1, episode 1, when he sees Walker Jenny, but he can't do it. He can't shoot her. Until he finally does, and he gets over it, right? But again, Mo is going towards Walker Duane, and then the ceiling or something collapses because the house is on fire, and it's a mess. But that's a great shot of Walker Duane. And again, we finally have the answer of that on Fear. We're getting answers on Fear the Walking Dead, which is crazy, but I'll definitely take it. So again, part of the roof or attic collapsed on Mo. She's kind of stuck as Walker Duane is trying to get her. Morgan goes up into the attic, and we see Duane written on the ceiling or the wall in the attic. And so we get to see Morgan come up the steps. We see stay there. So Morgan blacked out. He didn't remember any of this, and he was going back to King County to put down Duane. He didn't remember where he was supposed to be. He was supposed to be in this house, this other house. He wasn't there. Went back in the old house, the Rick house that Morgan, Rick, and Duane were in season 1, episode 1 of The Walking Dead. He's in the attic. Morgan sees that Mo's in danger, puts the scope on Walker Duane, and he's trying to, process this and remember. And, it's tough for Morgan. So his memory is finally coming back, and then we get to see flashbacks of Duane and Morgan on The Walking Dead. And this is probably one of the best episodes of Fear the Walking Dead because it connects with The Walking Dead. It's about time we finally had these connections. So Walker Duane has been a walker for how many years now, which is kind of crazy, but it's part of the universe of The Walking Dead. But again, as Morgan has him in his scope, he's looking at it. He can't take the shot. He still can't take the shot. That's what Morgan does, and he remembers. And we actually see flashbacks of season 1, episode 1 Duane, which is awesome to see. Flashbacks, callbacks, the house. That's what we've been waiting for with Fear the Walking Dead, time and time again, and we finally got it. It's about time. We see when Duane, after he hit Rick with the shovel, it's just pretty cool. And it's a little, second flashback, but Morgan puts the scope on Duane and takes the shot and saves Mo. So he finally gets closure. Mo is safe, which I have to say, she is the smartest 8-year-old I've ever seen in the Walking Dead universe. You know, Carl couldn't even stay in the house at 10 years old or whatever he was, and Mo's doing all these crazy things, but that's what they do on Fear the Walking Dead. So yeah, there you go. Walker Duane is seen and gone in the same episode. Morgan saves Mo, which is good for sure. And then we have the graves. So this reminds me a lot of Rick and Carl. And so we get to see Morgan at the graves of Jenny and Duane, his son and his wife from The Walking Dead. It's terrible, but awesome, awesome, but terrible. You know what I'm saying? So that's not it. You know, you think, oh, okay, yeah, it's nice. It's a nice little closure moment here. But Morgan and Grace have their moments, and Mo and Grace, they have their nice moment here. And it's a nice little touching thing where you get to see Mo and Grace, you know, they're going to make up for lost time, and Grace doesn't only have so much time left because of the radiation sickness. And yeah, so we'll have to see what goes forward with these three, and all life is good until Mo decides to walk through the rubble and Grace and Morgan talk. You know, you think, oh, nothing big, nothing happening here. But this is the Walking Dead universe we're talking about here, right? Stay close to your family. What are you doing? But either way, they write it in a way that's pretty ridiculous. But again, it's Fear the Walking Dead. So like I said, look at Mo. She's all the way back there, and she finds the pictures that somehow survived the fire as Grace and Morgan have a talk, heart to heart. You get to see good photos of Morgan, Jenny, and Duane in a nice photo album that, you know, should be all burned up, but you see good photos. Morgan and Duane, Morgan and Jenny, Morgan, Duane, and Jenny. So it's cool to see everybody together. Nice callbacks there. But again, as Mo is sitting there in the rubble, a walker comes flying out of the rubble, basically just like on The Walking Dead in season 4 with Lily's daughter, Megan, I believe her name was. And again, a nice callback to the governor. So they're going back and repeating what The Walking Dead does here. So as we see Mo struggling with this charred walker, Morgan and Grace run over to intervene and help. Somebody gets bit. Who do you think it is? Well, it ain't Morgan, because he don't die. But again, this charred walker is trying to get Mo. And it's just like, it's a little crazy because how is this walker just chilling there all this time? And then it's a jump scare. But look at Mo, look at Morgan, and look at Grace. So Mo's okay and Morgan's okay, but look at Grace. She's looking down at her right side. And somehow, some way, if somebody got bit, it would hurt and you would scream in pain. But Grace didn't scream. She somehow got bit on the side by the walker. So now Grace is bit. She needs the radiation therapy that is working for Finch. So we have somewhat of a cure, which is kind of crazy. They're going to cure angle, which I don't know if it's going to work for Grace because of her radiation sickness, and she was kind of saying she was dying anyway. But Mo, Morgan, and Grace go to the dock that Dwight and Sherry were supposed to meet Finch at. Morgan kills these two Padre guys. Morgan has no problem killing people now, but he's back in clear mode a little bit. You can kind of see a turn with him in the episode as well, but we see Dwight and Sherry are reunited with Finch. We see Grace is not doing well in the truck, but they get on the boat and they go. They get to go to the train car. So next episode looks to be an interesting one to see what's going to happen with that. But Morgan, Grace, Mo, Dwight, Sherry, and Finch all get on the boat. Do you think Grace is going to survive? I don't know. I could see Grace dying, and I think there has to be at least one death in the final 12 episodes of the series. But there doesn't, but we'll have to see. But as Dwight is driving the boat, we see Sherry, we see Finch, we see Mo, we see Morgan, and we see Grace. So Mo looks on as Morgan talks with Grace, and I have to mention and talk about it, the red washcloth. You know, it's after the fact, but does that mean Grace is definitely going to die? We'll have to see, but it doesn't bode well, that's for sure. Red Theory, does it strike again? Only time will tell, and that's how the episode ends. In the trailer for next week, we see a map. Not sure where this is, but I see a Richmond, and we see kind of a train track marker on, or markers on the map, I'm guessing here. And so if you follow it, that's where the train car is going. That is the mobile setup for the radiation lab that can hopefully cure Grace. But there you go, guys. These are the 2 graves of Jenny and Duane. And Morgan says that he's going to come back here. So does it end with Morgan going back to King County and living there? So it starts and ends with Morgan in King County. I think it's a fitting ending. We'll have to see how it plays out. Let me know your thoughts. Post your comments below. Like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. We'll be finally get answers about Duane on screen. Even though Morgan has said it time and time again that Duane got bit by Jenny. But stay safe. And as always, tell him Daryl.
Yo, we love you guys.